So this will be on trail day 149. It is Sunday, December 6th, 2020. I'm leaving here the Jenkins shelter. I just put my hammock up in the shelter last night. And somebody left a bag full of bags of prunes. I was like, yeah, I don't need those. I had a pretty good night. It was cold. It's a little chilly right now, but it's probably the warmest day it's been in a few days, so. I got 4.5 miles to do, and I'm supposed to meet up with a friend and fellow RVer at Virginia 623 road crossing. He's gonna bring me lunch. So I'm gonna meet up with him. I'm only doing like a 10-mile day to the Chestnut Knob shelter. And then that leaves a short day tomorrow into the hostel. I have to call them at some point, make sure they're open, but that is the plan as of right now. I'm back on trail. We have a fairly decent climb first thing this morning. It's 2,000 foot of ascent, but it's in the next 4.5 miles, so it's really not probably going to be that big of a climb, but we'll see. So I did get pretty cold last night, but it was nice and toasty in my sleeping bag, so I woke up when the sun was beaming in on me. The shelter was in a good spot. So I made it to the top of the hill climb. That was pretty tough. I got about 1.5 more miles to go to get to the highway. I'm going to meet up with a buddy for lunch. And it should be fairly flat the rest of the way. Whew. Nothing like 2,000 foot of elevation right out of the gate in the morning. It has been a little rocky too. There was a couple of small landslides, rock slides, had to go across, but they had taken the time to turn rocks flat, and so it wasn't too bad. There's still patches of snow up here. We're at 3,900 feet according to the watch, which I haven't calibrated lately, so. But from the looks of it, and as long as it's been, what, 4 or 5 days since it snowed? It snowed pretty good up here. I know in the Smokies, they had like 11 inches or something. So I'm glad I wasn't in the Smokies yet. I got about a mile to go. I should be there in about 20 minutes. If the terrain stays about like it is. Get a juicy cheeseburger and a Mountain Dew. It just sounds like heaven at the moment. But we'll be there shortly, and then we're about half done for the day. Hadn't looked fast the chestnut shelter really. My mileages to the hostel and elevations and etc. I may go past the shelter tonight. I don't know. It's supposed to be pretty cold again. The fact that it's an enclosed shelter with a door sounds appealing. Somebody wrote in a book at the last shelter that they were pushing on the chestnuts so they could have a fire in the fireplace. But I wouldn't be surprised if the fireplace wasn't sealed up like it is in the shelter on top of Blood Mountain, Georgia. Or the chimney's so built up with creosote that the smoke won't go through it. But just being enclosed with the door would be a change of pace. But before then, I got some burgers to eat, so southward to the burgers. So I'm here at the road crossing at Virginia 623. The trail came out right there and continues on over here. I met a buddy here, brought me some Wendy's burgers and 2 liters of Mountain Dew. I drank over a liter and I packed out the rest of it in my Nalgene. Never tried soda in a Nalgene, so we'll see how that works. I suspect it'll hold it just fine, but then I got a Powerade to go and a full quart of water. There's no water at Chestnut Mountain Ridge Shelter, Knob Shelter. So if I get there, it's 6 miles. I'm pretty well hydrated now. So if I still have the Powerade and a quart of water, I'll be good. And he brought me some other snacks and some sausage balls. So have sausage balls for breakfast in the morning. That'll be nice. It's just 2 o'clock. I have 6 miles and 2,000 feet. So it shouldn't be as steep as coming up here from Jenkins, but we still got some uphill. And we're going, I don't know if it's to our right or left, but going around what's called Burke's Garden. Or God's thumbprint. I think it used to be like a volcano crater or something, so I was told you can get some good views from the top of Chestnut if it's not cloudy, so hopefully there'll be a view or two of it. That kind of looks like maybe a little view spot here. I don't know. No, it's a little too overgrown. There's still a lot of snow down there though. I checked the weather just a little bit ago, and there's supposed to be about 1 inch of snow come through tonight. So, yeah, it'd be the perfect night to be in an enclosed shelter with possibly a fire in the fireplace. I was a little sluggish feeling coming up that hill this morning. I didn't have any breakfast. I had one pack of Pop-Tarts, and I was going to save them for tomorrow morning since I knew I had surplus calories coming to me. But since I now have sausage balls for in the morning, I guess I have Pop-Tarts and sausage balls. But yeah, on an empty stomach, trucking up the hill this morning, not the easiest thing. But now that I've had 2 burgers and an order of fries, over a liter of Mountain Dew, I'm good. It's amazing how energy can transform your day. I've got about 4 miles left to the Chestnut Ridge shelter. I'm going to try to finish off the Mountain Dew and the Nalgene. The Nalgene's working great for holding soda, so I figured it would, but I just never have tried it, so it's like any other bottle. Just screw the cap off kind of easy, let the pressure go. But I'll stop just shy of the shelter and probably fill up my Nalgene with water. That'll give me 2 quarts. And then I got a small Powerade. That'll be enough water for dinner. And then a hot chocolate and coffee in the morning. The trail's been the rockiest it's been in quite a while. Probably just past Daleville, I guess. The last rocky place. Well, there's a section just north of Ricefield Shelter. Just north of Angel's Rest Hostel. It's a little rocky, but it's a good enough combination. It's not too bad. So I'm a little under 2 miles from the Chestnut Knob Shelter. I just came up this hill. Kind of the top of this ridge. I was hoping there would be a view, but not so much. Oh well, there is a campsite here. But now we gotta go downhill to a road. And then that's where we find the pipe spring water source. I'll grab a quart of water and then do the last bit up to the shelter, which is probably on top of that mountain if I had to guess. Nothing like a final climb to the day to get yourself all sweaty so that you freeze to death in camp. If we can get a fire going indoors and dry everything out tonight. Haven't had anyone at any shelters all week. If there's a shelter someone else would be headed to, though, especially with snow in the forecast, this one would be the one. We'll see. We may get it all to ourselves. We're almost done for the day, though. It's going on 4:30. So we'll be getting there. It depends on how long it takes to get water. The water, from what I understand, you gotta walk down the gravel road and then kind of go down a little hill. But we should get there by dark. It was just a 10-mile day, but it was still over 4,000 foot of ascent, so not bad. We still got 1,000 more to do. Well, we made it to our water source right off the side of this road. I'm going to filter a quart and then climb up that to the shelter. So almost hate stopping for a quart, but it'll be appreciated in the morning. So I don't know how well any of that shows up, but it's probably the first good view of the Burke's Garden Valley. Try to get the gap right there between those two trees. Well, the climb up really wasn't that bad. It was kind of steep to start with, but it's kind of leveled out. I got cold stopping to get water, but I wanted to just take off up the hill and get warmed up, but I know it doesn't take long, and then you're sweating. So I put my shirt sleeves up, just kind of going slow. And keep the sweating to a minimum. But we should be at the shelter before too much longer. So this is the Chestnut Knob shelter. There's no one here. And that's the fireplace. I figured something like that. But that's alright, it's considerably warmer in here than it is outside, so. Not too bad. I'll take it for the night.